أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وما أمروا إلا ليعبدوا الله مخلصين له الدين حنفاء ويقيموا الصلاة ويؤتوا الزكاة وذلك دين القيمة صدق الله العظيم. Yesterday, I mentioned that in order for us to do the type of a'mal, the type of deeds that will get us the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we need to make sure of four things. The first is Ikhlas. There is a well-known hadith, and it's almost in every book of hadith. You would find this hadith. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ. All actions depend on intention. إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ وَإِنَّمَا لِإِمْرِئٍ مَّا نَوَى. And everyone will only get what this person intend to do and what the intention for the action was. Imam Nasai rahmatullahi alayhi have narrated another hadith on the authority of Sayyidina Abu Umamah al-Bahili radiyallahu anhu that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَقْبَلُ مِنَ الْعَمَلِ إِلَّا مَا كَانَ خَالِصًا وَابْتُغِيَ بِهِ وَجْهُهُ. Allah accepts only those deeds that are done with sincerity and done only for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for the pleasure of Allah. مَا كَانَ خَالِصًا وَابْتُغِيَ بِهِ وَجْهُهُ. Things that are pure, which means is done only and only for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is no mixing of anything else in it. وَابْتُغِيَ بِهِ وَجْهُهُ. The person is just trying to get the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. At a time when everyone is trying to prove that all the deeds that we do is only for Allah. Even when I'm going to work, Allah ordered us to work also to earn in halal, so this is also part of my deen. In reality, if we start looking at our ikhlas, we may realize that ikhlas is not there even in the fara'id, not to talk about all the other things that we are doing in our lives. This is one of the ways that shaitan makes his way towards our ibadah, to destroy our ibadah, is that makes us feel that according to our deen, this deen is very nice, mashallah, that everything that you do is ibadah. You're dealing with your family is ibadah, and when you're going to work is ibadah, earning halal is ibadah, all of that ibadah. So you don't have to spend a specific time for the ibadah when you're sitting and doing nawafil. People who are just sitting in the masajid or doing nothing else other than just dhikr and tasbihat and salah and qur'an, they don't really need to do this because the whole deen is ibadah. That's true that all of these things can become ibadah. The condition is if there is ikhlas, if there is sincerity in these a'mal. And when we look at our salah, even our salah does not have ikhlas. So if even we are not able to get ikhlas in salah, how can we obtain ikhlas in all the other a'mal that we are doing for our own souls? So this is a trick of shaitan. And it's really a very strong trick where most of the people, they get deceived by shaitan through these type of thoughts and wasawis, that all of your life is ibadah. Everything that you do is ibadah. Even when you play with your children is ibadah. Yes, that's true. That all of these things can become ibadah. But is it fact that for me and you these things are ibadah? If we look at our intention, that is the thing that will determine. And when we look at our intention, there's mixing of so many other things over there. So we need to learn how to purify our intention. This is something to learn. It's not that because I said it, it happened. Intention is the action of the heart. And we know that the situation of our heart is such that we have no control over it. We still have some control over our eyes. And we know how much our eyes keep on wandering around. As soon as there is a room for these eyes to commit a sin, it becomes impossible for us to have any control over it. I'm sitting in the masjid, I feel that I have a good control over my eyes. But this is not the time when I find out if I have a good control over my eyes or not. It's when I walk out of these doors and muharramat are in front of me. All the things that are forbidden by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But I feel attracted to those things. Now I would know if I really have control over my eyes or not. And we all know ourselves. Controlling the heart is more difficult than controlling our eyes, than controlling our tongue, than controlling our ears.